There may be explicit language in today's episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Tailgate Talks episode, whatever's in the title of this video. This episode is sponsored by Defrisher Recycling and Junk Removal. As always, boys, let's get right into it today. Big week. Big week.
Yeah. The game this week, of course, Dom decided to no show because, he's scared about Ohio State.
Oh, you guys would outnumber me too.
Yeah, so Alex isn't outnumbered. This is an even playing field, and I just realized I did not do the rapid fire stuff. So things are going to be in a weird order this week, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about our NFL stuff straight through rapid fire and then go into the game. But we're starting off, and if you couldn't tell by the intro of who we're starting off with, I'm gonna get very close on this one. I'm gonna get very close to the camera on this one, and I am a little under the weather this week, so don't mind me. And you know what? I'm putting the hood on for this one. Psst. Hey, you watching? Psst. It was only the Raiders.
What did I say earlier before we started? Shedeur Sanders attempted 6 passes beyond 5 yards from past the line of scrimmage, and only completed 2 of them.
Now, listen. Do the Browns need to stick it out with Shedeur for the rest of the year as the quarterback? Yes, they do. Does that mean he's the answer? No. One game where he didn't look that impressive. And once again, it is a sense of if his last name was not Sanders, we would not be having this conversation.
They might win 1 or 2 more games the rest of this season, and then probably draft a quarterback and fail miserably again.
It's also the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders is not
Did you say, and we're the Cleveland Browns?
He's
I love
not
that guy.
turning. He's not turning the Browns around. They had their chance with Baker Mayfield, and they let him go. Shedeur Sanders is not doing it.
Idiots.
If you think Shedeur Sanders is as good as Baker Mayfield, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Now, sometimes for quarterbacks, doing your job, that's fine. But does just doing your job work for Tom Brady?
Sure as hell worked very well for him.
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say. He did his job, but he was out of this world. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, elite mind.
Yeah, exactly. Did it work for Big Ben? You get the point here.
Would have worked better if they got rid of Tomlin.
Yeah, and we'll get that. We'll get to that. But once again, and I don't want anybody coming after us, the Shedeur Glazers coming after us, being give him a chance. It's the Browns. It's not fair. The offensive line, blah, 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 blah. His college tape, he was holding onto the ball way too long too. Don't get me wrong. I like his arm. I like his arm strength.
I don't even like his arm.
You don't like his arm? I think it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, sure. I'll give you that. It's fine.
Listen, and I'm not going to call him a bad NFL quarterback because we've only seen one game. I'm not. There's plenty of time for him to turn around. And hell, I could be wrong. He could come out and just absolutely just
Never
crush the 49ers, crush the Steelers. Like, wait, who's the Brown? I'm going to look at the Browns' remaining schedule.
I don't think it's that hard if I remember correctly. I have their defense and I picked it up because of their playoff schedule.
It's also the Cleveland Browns too, so like.
And we're the Cleveland Browns.
Dude, if you're watching this, please comment. I need you to get on the show and please walk through one of those.
So the Browns rest of the year, the 49ers, the Titans, the Bears, who I actually do think they're not the Chicago Bears that we were used to.
You'll find out on my NFL rankings.
They have the Bills, the Steelers, and the Bengals. You think Shedeur's going to turn the season around like that? Even though I know they have 9 losses, so they're already out.
Yeah, they're out already.
They're out, and yeah, I get it. But you think Shedeur's going to take this team to 8,
salvage
9?
The season, right? Yeah.
You think that's good? He's going to get eaten alive by the Bills' defense. Now with the Steelers, I'm not going to say I'd never say never because
we love dropping one to the Browns every year.
Yes. And also, did you guys see Shedeur's post-game interview?
He's the guy they're looking for. I mean, maybe it's true. That's what he said, right? Pretty much something along that line.
Listen, I don't think that's confidence. It's for him because he's acting confident. So in his eyes, it is confidence. But from the outside looking in, that interview wasn't confidence. That's just plain arrogant.
Yeah,
seriously.
You've proven nothing in this league yet.
Yeah,
I do
exactly.
have to.
Now,
have
if
to
he
say,
can walk the walk, that's different. Because Dion was like that, and everyone didn't mind with. Well, actually, some people still didn't like Dion, but most people were okay with it with Dion because he was an all-world talent and he played it. He backed up the game.
He could back it up.
Exactly. That's different.
I would say though, Stefanski is putting him in a situation to be successful, though. You know what I mean? Not having him push the ball down the field like that is going to build his confidence, in a sense. Because if he can check it down and he knows he's got a safety valve there, then he doesn't have to force it down the field. I mean, I think, even though he didn't throw the ball downfield many times, and is the Raiders, he played about what you'd expect a 5th rounder to play for their first start. It wasn't knock your socks off, oh my gosh, this guy's the best player in the league. But it also wasn't oh my gosh, why did they even waste a pick on this guy in the 5th round? If that makes sense.
I have never seen so much attention for a 5th round quarterback in my entire life. Seriously.
No, because they're just 5th round quarterbacks are not perceived to be good.
Now, if you want to argue Shedeur dropped way too low and he's more of a 3rd round quarterback, still that is close to a late round quarterback. Still.
Yeah, it's a day 2 pick.
It's a day 2 pick. That's exactly where he should have been picked from. But there was this hold on, there's this one tweet I want to read before we get to the Steelers. It's saying Shedeur's a franchise quarterback. Get out of here. Okay.
So stupid.
They said Shedeur was a bust. They said Shedeur was spoiled. They said Shedeur was a loser. They said Shedeur was selfish. They said Shedeur was irrelevant. They said Shedeur was a bad leader. They said Shedeur was going to fail. And Shedeur Sanders laughed. I don't think anybody said Shedeur was a bust because he's a 5th round quarterback.
And has started it in one football game.
Against the worst, probably the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, we got the Titans still.
The Raiders are really bad. The Raiders are
the Jets.
The Raiders are still really bad.
Yeah, they're definitely bottom.
Chip Kelly.
They're a bottom 3 team in football right now.
But yeah. So everybody if you want to root for Shedeur, there's nothing wrong with that. We could be totally wrong. He could be their guy. But from what I've seen nothing that's proven that yet. Because it's one game. You did the same thing. You did the same thing when you went in against the Panthers. a preseason game, and then he goes back in, he sucks. Let's see some more tape before we jump to conclusions about Shedeur Sanders. Now.
Oh, by the way, the Raiders allowed 10 sacks yesterday and had 13 penalties for 109 yards.
Yeah.
So then there's that.
So let's all calm down. Like, yeah. Now, what we won't calm down about is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I didn't watch the game. Alex didn't watch the game. Bryce, did you watch the game?
I tried to watch the Vikings Packers, and then I got kicked off of the stream. So I had to turn on the Steelers, and I think I would have rather watched the Packers pummel the Vikings, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't really give any takes on the game because I didn't know what was wrong. I heard a lot of people complaining about Mike Tomlin again, so it was probably another Tomlin masterclass. I don't know.
It was. I mean, I watched enough of the end of the first, end of the second half to tell you what happened. The big one that people are talking about is, Mason Rudolph gets you to the 48-yard line. It would have been like a 60-something yarder roughly for Boswell to kick to tie the game up in overtime. 4th and 6, I believe it was. Maybe it was 4th and 7. And instead of giving the best kicker in the NFL that chance to go out there and maybe send the game to overtime, you let your backup quarterback throw a pass. And the routes that were run looked like, what's the word I can use that's not terribly offensive? We'll just go with dumb. There was no route running there that made any sort of chance for them to get open. I mean, one of the routes was just a straight fly. The other route, like, it's 4th and 8. Okay, let's run a slant. Let's run a 10-yard out. Let's run, I don't know, a wheel route with the running back to get him in space. Something. There was none of that. So we turned the ball over and the game's over. It was a very questionable play calling game for Mike Tomlin. There was also an instance earlier in the game where he could have kicked the field goal. It was 4th and something, and he went for it instead and left points on the board there. So he left plenty of points on the board in that game. I also remember that on the touchdown that put them in the lead, I believe, DJ Moore was wide open and there wasn't a defender within 20 yards of him, probably. It was a complete busted coverage on a 3rd down, I believe that play was, that they scored. I mean, outside of that, it wasn't pretty. I mean, I didn't think Rudolph looked horrible. I'll say that lightly because it wasn't great. Caleb Williams looked just like all quarterbacks do against Pittsburgh that are at least above average. Light them up.
8 of Mason Rudolph's, 30 pass attempts yesterday were at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. He did dump a lot of balls off to Gainwell. I do remember that. And Gainwell looked good yesterday.
Carrying me with Jonathan Taylor on a bye last week and then snapping off in place of someone else for me again this week. I'll take it.
I mean, other than that, like, excuse me. The Steelers, I don't know. This is why I didn't want to watch the game, because I knew in the back of my head, here we go. It's a 7-3 Bears that they're good, but they're not as good as their record showing. Tomlin's going to find a way to lose this game naturally.
Shocker.
He loses the game. So.
Yeah, and before
this team exhausts me.
Yeah, it does. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, so I can't give my take on it. I do know that we have Buffalo coming up, so crap. Anyway, last thing about NFL, and I figured because it's a topic now. Bryce, earmuffs.
What are we talking about?
No, you, earmuffs.
For what?
Cover your ears.
Oh, boy.
Cover your ears.
I'm still good. Okay.
I don't think J.J. McCarthy's the guy. I'm sorry.
I heard you. I'm not going to agree with you.
Listen, he'd have to turn around right now to convince me otherwise, but man.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I'm not going to sit on here. Yes, he won my college a national championship. I'll forever be thankful for that. But this is the NFL. Okay, as much as I want to sit here and say he deserves a chance to prove himself, he is only 6 games in. O'Connell might stick with him the rest of the year and maybe give him some next year before he's like, you're done. I have the utmost faith in him because all he does, he just wins. He usually just wins the game. It's not pretty, wins the game though. The problem is the pocket awareness and taking all these sacks and not having those touch plays. Like there's plenty of film where Jefferson or Addison or even Hawkinson is, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, nice little dump off, maybe get a couple yards, and he throws a fastball right into their chest and they drop it. Should that ball be caught? Yes. Should that ball be touched off nicely so they don't have to freaking feel the pain in their hands after? Yes. So I think, I mean, we'll get into that on my tier list. I have a category that I think you guys will like, but I want him to be great. If he's not great, he's not great. That's all it comes down to. You got to be better.
Well, speaking of tier lists, that actually gives me time to finish up the rapid fire notebook. So go ahead.
Bryce, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first. Do you want me to share my screen again?
It's up to you.
I can share it. I got to figure out how to do this. I forget. All right. Everybody can see my screen, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So my tier list, I didn't even change the thing on the left. It's not worth it. But that top tier, I made a couple more teams that were moved into my Super Bowl or bust list, as I called it. Now, I know you're saying, well, the Chiefs looked like garbage. The Patriots really didn't look too hot either. The Lions barely squeaked one out, and the Bills actually lost. Well, this is more of a long-term chart for me this week since I didn't have a lot of time because I forgot to do it. So those are the 5 teams that I think you're going to see in the Super Bowl or compete for a spot to go to the Super Bowl. I think those are one of the 5 teams. Now, granted, a lot of them are from the same division, but actually, no, it's pretty evenly split, I'd say. Never mind. I'm crazy. But those are the 5 teams that I think you're going to see competing no matter what. Now, this next tier of teams is just my playoff or bust. I think you're looking at the Broncos, Ravens, Packers, Colts, Bucks, Chargers, Eagles, Seahawks, 49ers that are in that playoff or bust window. Now, I just have it as playoff or bust, but in reality, the way the Broncos are playing right now, they could see themselves potentially competing for a Super Bowl. I don't think they have a chance. The Ravens came alive from the dead,
No shot.
like everybody expected, but they don't win the Super Bowl. Packers defense is as advertised. The offense, on the other hand, I would argue looked better without Josh Jacobs, but that's maybe a bold take. The Colts, I'll let Alex touch on that later. And then, the last couple teams there. Seahawks look good. 49ers get Purdy back. Could be going in the right direction. Eagles lost to the Cowboys. I know they're the Eagles. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with them probably winning the NFC and then going to the championship. And then the Bucks, that team is a team that could drop just because Baker's injury, and Bucky Irving's still not back. Supposedly in the rumor mill, it was his ankle and shoulder, and then he developed depression during his time off. So if that is something he's still struggling with, who knows where that'll end up with them, because Sean Tucker and Rachaad White, I don't think can help that team move into the Super Bowl contentions. After those 2 tiers is where it gets fun. We have the Tomlinburg Steelers, who are going to end up at 9-8, 8-9, maybe 10-8, more than likely not, or 8-10. That's your floor and ceiling right there, which is pretty funny because that's what it is every year. Tier down from that, we have the Texans, the Bears, the Jaguars, and the Falcons. And you're not gonna believe what I named this category, but the category I have for this one is teams that you're silently happy to see winning again. Me personally, I'm kind of happy the Texans, the Falcons. Kirk Cousins came back and looked, bad, but they won, beat the Saints. The Bears.
Big Kirk go.
Jaguars are finally getting a little bit more of a step. Should have lost the Cardinals this weekend, but I was excited to see those teams win this week. Outside of the Bears, I wanted them to lose, but you're silently rooting for the Bears because da Bears.
Da Bears.
My next tier list is Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Dolphins, Cardinals, and these are teams that are average but make watching paint dry is more enjoyable. Now, you might be questioning why
And we lost Bryce.
Well, their offenses are
Oh boy.
in this tier.
Oh boy.
They're also not like, what do you do? What happened?
You were like
We
broken
lost
up.
you for like that entire thing, for that entire tier.
Okay, so where did I leave off at?
Starting the tier with the Panthers and all them in it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'll condense it there. I said that tier is, you can see it there. Those are teams that are average, but make watching paint dry is a little bit more enjoyable, I think. We still here, or am I off again?
You're good.
Okay. Because you might ask why they're here. All of them have decent offenses. It's the defense that makes you rather watch paint because they're bad. Cardinals are probably the best defense in that tier if I would have to guess. Personally, I think so. The Cardinals defense is solid. Panthers defense is all right. But those are all teams that I think I'd rather watch paint dry. Other than last night when the Cowboys beat the Eagles. Thank you for that. I really needed to see that. My next category is just the Vikings, and that category is called I Love 9, and I think he's going to be fine, but the ledge that I'm standing on is slowly starting to crumble. I want JJ to be great, but for my mental sanity, just take the year off, learn the offense, and then learn how to put some touch on passes, and then go from there because it's so hard to watch sometimes, and it makes my brain hurt. Now, the thing is that's interesting and why I have them above all these other teams, the Vikings specifically, is because their playoff schedule the rest of the year for the most part is pretty easy. I'm not sure if you guys know what it is or who they play.
Nope.
I have it pulled up right here once my phone loads. They play the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Lions, and Packers. So their last two games are a little difficult. But they get three. Oh, they play the Seahawks on Sunday. So that's not really an easy game either. But they have a three-stretch game where it gets pretty easy, where I think that's the three-game stretch where JJ has to prove, I can play. Just, give me time. If he can't prove it in that stretch, it might be over for him. The next category, as you see, is just the Cleveland Browns, and I named this category Audemars Piguet because obviously Shedeur. That's all I have. No explanation. Just, Audemars Piguet. I didn't even say that right, but it's okay. No big deal. Our next tier is the Giants, the Commanders, and the Saints. And that tier is downright awful with current situation. And that is just the truth. Having no Daniels for the Commanders, having nothing for the Saints, and the Giants losing absolutely everybody and blowing yet another lead is what puts them in this downright awful tier. Our last three teams, the Raiders, the Jets, the Titans. This tier is called I have nothing to say that they probably haven't said to themselves 5 feet from the mirror. And that's all that is said. These poor teams are just currently living in constant scrutiny and losing every single week. And honestly, if we do this the rest of the year, that'll be my last tier every week. The Jets, the Raiders, and the Titans. And the Saints are on that fringe tier as well. They could see themselves down there eventually. But that's my tier list for this week. Alex, I don't know if you want to say anything, or Mike, if you want to say anything, what you guys think. Better tier list, better rankings, or if it's what you don't like, which one was the funniest, whatever you want to say.
I'm baffled by how high the Dolphins are. That's my only comment.
Your only comment?
The thing I got to say is, Bryce, what's your score prediction for tonight? You picked San Francisco because you could tie with EJ.
San Francisco, who do they play? The Panthers?
Yep.
I'm going to go 27-18.
Ooh.
No, 27. No, not 18. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh,
Hold up. Panthers are going to kick 3 field goals, which makes it 9. Score a touchdown, it makes it 16. Kick another field goal, makes it 19. They're going to lose 27-19. That's my final prediction. But other than that, yeah, the Dolphins, I only have the Dolphins up there because I didn't really know where else to put them because they're not the Cleveland Browns and they're, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to stop sharing so Alex can go with his list because mine was last second thrown together. I'll be more prepared next week. It'll be better next week, everybody. Don't you worry.
Here we go. Tim's back. Let's go.
Tim's back. Let's go.
All right. So, as I did last week, I will be going bottom to the top through my tiers. All right. Starting off bottom tier of the league. NFL basement. These teams are all completely, just absolutely, unfathomably terrible at football. Every single one of them. Jets, Raiders, Saints, Titans, Dolphins. These teams are all absolute disasters, have either fired their coach or fired their GM or are looking to do so for the most part. And yeah, they all suck. They're terrible. Next here, at home with Shedeur Sanders. Let's go. All that needs to be said. Occasionally exciting. Again, I think I've put the Falcons in this tier last week. These teams occasionally do something that's pretty cool. If Jaden Daniels is like ever healthy again for the rest of his life, I'm sure they'll probably do something exciting at some point. And then Bijan's pretty cool. And then I guess Kirk Cousins is still a quarterback in the NFL. Please get new turf. Jesus Christ, New York, please. Just for Christ's sake, just get new turf or get a new field, something. Build a new stadium. I don't care. Like, this team would actually be half decent if you had a field that was in decent quality condition. Next, Dak Prescott. Again, I think that's all that needs to be said here. Dak Prescott is the sole reason that this football team wins games like ever right now. Next, showdown in mid. This is the game tonight. So these tiers are obviously pending Monday Night Football. These teams are like 7-4 and 6-5 right now, and I don't think either of them are that good, and will probably get blasted in the first round of the playoffs if they make it. So there you go there. Literally, I don't know what any of these three teams are. Just Trevor Lawrence is looking like his 2023 AFC wildcard peak form, throwing 5 interceptions and a half and then somehow still winning anyway. D'Amico Ryans is literally just blinding the opponent's offense with his extremely shiny bald head every week. And Jacoby Brissett and Caden Slovis played for the Arizona Cardinals last night.
Ew.
I don't know what any of these football teams are. Next. NFL cannibalism. These 5 teams all have about 2 things in common. They're in a North Division. They've all played or will play each other at some point in the season, pretty much. These teams are all incredibly mid and will beat up on each other, and about half of them will miss the playoffs, at least. Next. Still overrated. These 3 teams are still a quarterback away, just like last week. Don't care. None of them are going to make it past the wild card. Maybe if Denver somehow manages to get a first round bye, whatever. Next. I think you're good. I'm pretty sure all these football teams are good. Like Green Bay, Detroit, Buffalo, Philly, Chargers, Bucks. I'm pretty sure these teams are all good football teams. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be playing for a spot in like the conference championship game. I think they're all pretty legit. Green Bay, when they're healthy and Jordan Love is on. Detroit is always a threat with Dan Campbell. Buffalo has Josh Allen. You can't really count him out. Philly obviously won the Super Bowl last year, even though they looked quite not good yesterday. Chargers, when Herbert plays good, they're pretty good. And when Baker's healthy for Tampa, they're pretty awesome. Next, still the Chiefs. Still believe in them. Don't care. Very good. New England Patriots.
Oh.
You have been dethroned this week. You are very good, though.
Wait.
Arguably one of the best teams in football at the moment. Mike Vrabel is doing a great job there. And finally, to top off the tiers for this week, everyone's All-Americans. Matt Stafford, still an animal. Rams defense absolutely insane, massacred the combination of Baker Mayfield and Jacoby Brissett yesterday. Baker Mayfield and Teddy Bridgewater yesterday. Shout out Teddy Bridgewater appearance. Yeah, the Rams are just I don't know what you want from me. The Rams are just a really, 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 really good football team. So that's the tiers for the week. I'll leave them up for a second so everyone can analyze and
Can I just
say whatever they
real
please.
fast? Can I just say real fast? The stupid thing with Stephen A. Smith and Drake May and Cam Newton. Dude, first of all, first take, I'm pretty sure most of their viewers comes from airports and gyms with the volume down. Second of all, Drake May never said one negative thing about Cam Newton. And it's actually one of those cases of never meet your heroes. Because, Drake May never bashed anybody, never, literally questioned one show. That's all he said. And when you call a man a liar without proof, that I don't care. You're in the wrong. Yeah, if you're gonna call somebody a liar, you have to at least have proof that they're a liar.
Yeah. It's pretty simple, I think, right?
So now I'm rooting for Drake May to just torch everybody the rest of the year. I'm just rooting for Drake May now. That's all I have to say about that. It was just so stupid.
The only question I have about this tier list is you think the Seahawks are going to get bounced first round in the playoffs?
Yes, because they're not going to win the division.
Even with that defense?
No, because the Rams defense is better and Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback.
Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, if they don't play the Rams first round and maybe they get the Buccaneers.
So
they're not going to, though, because the Bucs are going to win the division and the Seahawks are going to be at best the 5 seed.
That's true. The Bucs are going to I forgot they're leading the South. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only team in that tier list where I'm like, yeah, I could see them potentially being good just because the Seahawks defense is nuts. And when Sam Darnold can throw the ball 80 yards downfield, Jackson Smith and Jigba is usually down there somewhere to catch it for a touchdown.
Shout out that guy, by the way.
He's trash. If you want me to be honest with you.
So this
Shout
is
out to him in Mecca right now.
There's a couple of things. There's a couple of things I do agree with right now as we speak, as of this week, and that's the position of the Lions and Bears. But would you be surprised if the Bears somehow won their division?
Yeah, I honestly kind of would be.
Really?
I think they're fine this year. I think they're good.
They're not bad.
I don't think they have it all figured out yet, and I don't think they're gonna match up in prime time with the Lions or the Packers. So,
do you think they need one more free agent in draft year to be legit?
Yeah, I think they need one more year under this staff more than anything. I think the roster's pretty much fine. Maybe some more depth that maybe address some holes on defensive line. Maybe front seven. I mean, the weapons are fine. I would say the O and D line are probably the biggest places to address problems right now for them. I think they just need another year to get it together, and I'm still not fully sold on Caleb Williams, despite the fact that he is playing quite well this year. So we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, so for this week's Rapid Fire, I'm going to reiterate this to you guys. The quicker we get done with Rapid Fire, the more time we have for the game.
Let me stop sharing my screen real quick. There we go.
Just to clarify, Haley unfortunately did beat Alex, so that brings Haley to 7-5 and Alex to 6-6. Though, I do believe if Alex wins two more, then that pretty much guarantees him a spot in playoffs. Haley's pretty much 1 win away.
I think I'm 1 win away.
Emma's 5-7, and Dom is 4-8, and he needs I put it in the chat for Dom.
Dom's on kind of a heater though. He was 1-7.
Yeah. Do I need to say his strategy and why he's 1-7 now?
His only freaking win was me, dude. Only me. I should not have lost that week.
So, I do believe, and keep in mind, this is a playoff generator thing or whatever that I put in. So, it could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's right. Dom has to win his last 2 games, finish 6-8. But even 6-8 only works for him in the playoffs if Emma loses at least once So she finishes 6-8 or worse. Alex has to lose out, which is not going to happen. Haley loses out, and tiebreaker somehow gets the tiebreakers, which is rare. Only three total teams reach 7+ wins. Dom wins all the tiebreakers. So yeah, Dom basically has to rely on tiebreakers. So that's not going to happen.
Before we move over to college, can we talk about how the Big Ten is currently running hockey right now?
After we're done with rapid fire. Anyway,
Ugh.
where we at? So Haley has AJ, Emma has EJ, and it's the battle of the Tailgate Talks co-hosts. Me versus Bryce, Alex versus Dom in a true gentleman's game. Alex might throw out this game just so Dom wins an extra point.
Absolutely not. 0% chance.
Well, you know his strategy, so think about that. Do you know his strategy?
Absurd upsets all the time.
Something like that.
No,
I gave an oath.
he figures out.
Say it out loud.
Picks or he picks one different.
I'm not gonna say it out loud. But I'm just gonna say that in because I told the chat I wasn't gonna say it out loud. So just know that the chat is not gonna figure or know that. But anyway, so first game, I think we got some really good Thanksgiving games, and I know the Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow's back, so like all 3 games I'm actually looking forward to.
Thank you to Joe Flacco for carrying me in fantasy football while Joe Burrow was gone.
We got the Packers at the Lions. It's Thanksgiving. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, give me the Lions at home.
Packers are dog water.
So Detroit.
Yeah.
The Chiefs at the Cowboys. I actually do want to pick the Cowboys, but the Chiefs are going to keep rolling.
Give me the Chiefs.
Yep.
Bengals at the Ravens. I think Joe Burrow is going to be a little bit rusty, and I think the Ravens are kind of on a roll since Lamar's back. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens.
I want the Ravens to lose so bad this week, though, because if they don't, they're going to probably win the rest of the season until they split with Pittsburgh. I'll go Ravens.
Bears at the Eagles. I'm a little iffy on the Eagles after that game against the Cowboys.
Is that going to be your upset of the week?
Yeah, you know what? That will be. Give me the Bears.
Dang.
Yeah.
Give me the Eagles.
I don't hate that. I'm going to go with the Eagles, but I don't hate that for an upset.
San Francisco against Cleveland. Shedeur's going to get humbled. Give me San Francisco.
Yep.
Maybe this will be my upset of the week.
Oh.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
it can't be. Brock Purdy's back. Brock Purdy's healthy. I'm gonna go 49ers.
Jaguars at the Titans. The Titans are bad. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, give me the Jags.
Titans are our first double-digit loss team this year. Congratulations to them on another year of doing that feat first. Go with the Jags.
The Texans at the Colts.
Upset, lock it. Give me it.
Who's favored?
Indy. Give me Texans plus 4.5.
It's not my upset, but I was going to go Texans too.
I'm going to stick Colts here.
Oh, wow.
D'Amico Ryan's defense eats the Colts alive.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. The Saints at the Dolphins.
Yeah, give me Miami.
Yeah.
Miami ain't losing that game.
You said they are?
No, Miami's not losing that game.
The Falcons at the Jets. Give me Kirk Cousins again.
Yeah, give me Big Kirko.
I'm Let me look at the rest of the slate.
While he does that, because I like to have you guys have time for this. Oh, damn. I never mind, because now I don't know for this next one, too.
Give me the freaking Jets for the upset.
Oh, wow. The Cardinals at the Bucks with
Even with Teddy, give me the Bucks. The Cardinals just lost a game where Trevor Lawrence threw 4 picks. I don't care. Give me the Bucks.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks because I think that the Cardinals they're getting Trey Benson back, they're getting Marv back. Their offense will go back to being in good hands.
Rams are gonna probably beat the Panthers because the Rams are just built different this year.
Yeah, Rams are gonna steamroll Bryce Young.
Don't forget, the Rams have another top 10 pick thanks to the Falcons.
Uh-huh.
So they're gonna load right back up with probably another defensive stud. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Sorry, Bryce. The Seahawks are going to steamroll JJ McCarthy.
Yep, give me the Seahawks and give me JSN for like a 40-plus yard touchdown this week.
See, the past couple weeks I picked the Vikings as my upset, and they have failed me the past 3 weeks. Mike McDonald is a defensive mastermind, and him working with JJ in years past while they were at Michigan, he is going to have him in an absolute panic.
Wow, I didn't think I'd see the day. Bryce picking against JJ McCarthy.
I'm going to do it. I mean, he's got to figure it out. When he figures it out, I'm back. But for now, play better football. Hurting my fantasy league stats.
Next one. Until you prove to me that you care and you're actually better than years past, we are not all in. We are not a playoff team. We are not anything. The best we'll do is the same seed we've had in the playoffs the last 2 times. Give me Buffalo over Pittsburgh.
The fact that the spread here is only 4 is nuts. This game could get ugly. Give me the Bills.
You know, as easily as this game could get ugly, this game also could easily be the really stupid one that we end up winning because Tomlin. So, yeah, give me the Steelers. I feel like this is the stupid game that we end up winning and it ends up not mattering anyway.
The Raiders are bad. Give me the Chargers.
Yep. Go Bolts.
Me too.
The Broncos over Washington. Give me the Broncos.
Me too.
Yep. Let me keep getting them overrated.
And then give me New England over the Giants because Drake May it's personal now.
Is Jackson Dart starting in this game? Does anyone know?
He should be out of protocol.
Battle of exciting whites. Let's go. Give me the Patriots.
I think I'm going to roll Patriots too. Please, Mike Vrabel, if you hear this, give freaking Henderson the goal line work. I need that for fantasy purposes.
Bryce is relying on a Buckeye in fantasy football. Let's go.
By that time,
Anyway.
Michigan will have already beat Ohio State, so I'll be okay with rooting for Henderson.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, I just got to say real quick before I shut up basically for the rest of the show. Pitt did beat Georgia Tech, even though Narduzzi had another almost Narduzzi game. I'm actually going to the Miami game this Saturday, so I actually got club seats behind the student section. So either way, if we lose or win, or win or lose, I'll have fun.
You'll booze.
So yeah, we'll booze. So Alex, quick, 30 seconds from pay the bills because then you guys got 15 minutes for the game.
This episode of Tailgate Talks is sponsored by Defrisha Recycling and Junk Removal. Defrisha is a family-run business out of Greenville, PA that provides services such as vehicle purchasing, scrap metal purchasing, appliance removal, junk removal, garbage services, dumpster rentals, curbside pickups, house garage, and building cleanouts and demolition around the Pittsburgh and Greenville areas. If you or anyone you know are in need of these services, check out the links in the description down below. Go to Defrisha's website or to their Facebook page. Get in contact with them. See if they provide their services in your area. Thanks, Frisch, for sponsoring this episode of Tailgate Talks.
Okay, you guys have 15 minutes for the game. Use your time wisely.
I need a couple minutes real quick. Not even a couple. Just
It's gonna take you eat up time for the game.
the AP pool doesn't matter anymore. Like, this is for you more than anybody. But the AP pool voted that even though Pitt beat Georgia Tech is 23 and Pitt's 24.
Whatever.
Can we give up on the AP pool now? Can we just be done with it and just completely demolish it? The only other thing I want to say is Tennessee beat Florida. Sad. You're not making the playoffs, though, so it makes me happy. You know who is making the playoffs?
Oh, that's a perfect segue. What do you got to say about that, Alex?
Maybe. Probably. Maybe.
There's a scenario out there, okay?
If you guys lose this week, you're not making it.
No way. But here's where it gets interesting, okay? There's like a 0.001% chance it happens, but stick with me. Michigan beats Ohio State this weekend. Indiana loses to Purdue, not going to happen. And Oregon loses to Washington.
You should just be penalized for calling it Oregon.
I've always said it that way. I don't know why. That puts Michigan, Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, playing back-to-back weeks.
Jesus.
Here's the ironic part. Okay, here's where my question comes. Say Michigan beats Ohio State. Well, they have to for this scenario to happen. Say they play them in the conference championship and lose. What's that do for the playoffs? They still in? It's a weird situation.
It is.
That with these conference championships puts everything in. I don't think it'll come down to that, to be honest with you. There's no way Indiana loses to Purdue. But that's just one of the many situations where it could be very interesting to see what happens. But how do we want to do this to talk about the game, Alex? How do we want to go about it?
I do have, well, don't forget, because like we're actually going to do this, and like we did with Edinburgh, I told the guys come up with 2 reasons your team wins and 2 reasons your team loses.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end though.
Yeah. My question is like, well, not question, but like statement, and like my only take on the game is like, even with how this year's gone, never say never on if you know like I'd say like if I was a fan of either team, I would literally say like my prediction of the score for the game isn't like guaranteed, because like this game is always, I feel like, well, I don't want to say always, but like in most cases I feel like it's so unpredictable, because who would have thought what happened last year would have happened? You know what I mean? And just because Ohio, like where I'm going with this is like, just because Ohio State's probably the best team in the country and they are number 1 and they've been number 1 almost all year, like it could come down to the last play is what I'm trying to say.
It can any year. It doesn't matter what the records are. We've been saying that. Like, it does not matter what the records are in this game. Like, it will come down. Most of the time, it will be a tight game.
Even Michigan's undefeated year, even though it's like never say never on the record.
Yeah.
Or how the game's gonna go.
The key. Well, I'll hop into Michigan first then. The key here for this game is obviously, you lose to Oklahoma week 2 in Norman. Everybody's like, dang, this looks like it's going to be a tough season. We'll even go before that. You play in New Mexico. You only beat them by 17. Everybody expects them to beat them by 50. Everybody's like, this team sucks. They go into Oklahoma, get beat. Everybody's like, oh gosh, this team is terrible. Oklahoma's a top 5 team. New Mexico is 8-3 right now, knocking on a 10-win season for the first time in who knows how long. So those two, that first game, even though it wasn't pretty, carries some sort of weight for how you recover. Losing to Oklahoma hurt. That is a game where Sharon Moore looked like he would have rather Davis Warren been in there, and we ran the ball 100 times. After that is where everything kind of gets weird, because then you destroy Central Michigan by 60, who isn't good. Come back, That was actually the first game Sherman Moore started as suspension, I believe, was that week. And that was the week that Bryce Underwood, everybody was like, oh my gosh, maybe this kid is good. I mean, he can run, he can throw. Maybe this kid is good. Then you come back to Nebraska, you beat them by 3 in a game where Underwood still was okay with the ball. I mean, not the greatest line, but he still was okay with the ball. The key difference from the beginning of the season to the end of the season was the USC loss. That was the game where Jordan, here we go again, I'm going to mess his name up, where Haynes goes down, and they screen the crap out of Michigan and beat them 31-13, and that's where everybody goes, what the heck's going to happen? We lost by 3 scores to a USC team. What do we do? Well, then you look at the next couple weeks, and it was not pretty. The only thing is this past week felt different with the offense. It really did. It felt like Sherman Moore told Chip Lindsey, let's give Underwood a little bit more to see how he handles it. We didn't just run bubble screens and freaking stupid passes like that. We let Underwood kind of throw the ball a little bit more and, do his thing. In a game where he went 16 for 23 with 215 yards and 2 touchdowns, running with a third-string running back who went 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. The offense, even though Underwood only had 2 touchdowns, both of the touchdowns were pretty good, I'll say. One was a back shoulder fade to Andrew Marsh, who's going to be a stud, and the other one was a slant route to McCauley that hit him right in stride, broke it off, touchdown. I think the offense is in the right direction for this game, for sure. I'll try to wrap it up so Alex can go then, so then we can talk about it more. Offense is heading in the right direction, and the only thing I'll save that for our 2 things that we're going to do. Defense is what worries me, if I'm being completely honest. Ernest Hausman didn't play last week. He's supposed to play. Rod Moore's been out all year long, which hurts because he's a leader in the secondary. And I don't know who is going to cover Smith or Tate. If I had to guess, they're going to put Jair Hill on Smith and put a safety over top. And then I think they're going to put Zeke Berry on Carnell Tate and say, hey, this is the matchup we're willing to take on, this Carnell Tate. So I kind of think that's probably how they're leaning. I'm not sure, though. I guess we'll see this weekend. That's kind of my analysis for how the season and where we are now. Michigan needs this game. There's no way around it. Win this game, you're probably in as a 9 or 10 seed. Lose this game, you're playing in a New Year's Six bowl that nobody cares about because it's not the playoffs. The stakes couldn't be higher.
And it could be if they win this week against Penn State in the Duke's Pop-Tart Mayo Bowl.
Maybe they'll get Pitt. Who knows?
Whoa. Pitt could still make it.
I was saying maybe Michigan will get Pitt. Oh, you're saying playoffs. Playoffs.
Yeah, Pitt making a tournament.
Alex, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna be totally honest. I feel really good I feel better about this game than I have in years. I think Bryce Underwood's gonna be good in the future, but as a freshman quarterback going up against a team that's allowing 7.6 points per game, 80 rushing yards a game, 126.6 passing yards a game. So, I mean, Ohio State's allowing 206.6 total yards per game and 7.6 points. Defense is absolutely unbelievable, far and away the best in the country. That already is a lot for me. Bo Jackson is finally getting the RB1 carries that he deserves to be getting and has been running really well the past 2 weeks. It's looking like week 1, like week 0 through week 4 again, because Julian Sayin has just barely had to throw the ball the past 3 weeks because we've played such garbage opponents. So, and Jeremiah and Carnell are both going to be fully healthy because they literally, neither of them even got targeted in the game against Rutgers on Saturday, and we still won 42-9. So,
how's Rutgers a D1 school, by the way?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Wrestling team's okay, I think.
I mean, like this team's going to be fully healthy and ready to go. People were, people were kind of like, oh, but there's not all the same stars on like the defense that there have been in past years. First of all, Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles are the best linebacker tandem in the country by far. Caleb Downs is the best safety in the country, one of the best players in all of college football. Caden Curry has 9 sacks. Kenyatta Jackson's an unbelievable run stopper in the interior defensive line and has 4.5 sacks on the season as well. This team is just really, really, really good. So we just need to go out and play really, really, really good football, and it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll be playing IU in the Big Ten Championship, and this year Kurt Signetti will actually deserve to be there. So
yeah, true. But all right, so you guys all said your piece. Now,
I'm gonna add one more thing, if I may. Nothing would make me happier than to watch Ryan Day piss down his leg because somehow, some way, Michigan finds himself in a scenario where they're in the lead and the ball's in Julian Sain's hand with 30 seconds left and they have to score to tie it up. Nothing would make me happier to see Ryan Day stand there and quiver. I hope that happens, but I don't know.
I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think Ryan Day is way too irritated by his terrible record against the Wolverines.
Anyway,
hasn't beaten him since his first try, so.
Anyway,
and that was when he inherited Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave. So
it's true.
Hard to lose with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I told you guys before this, 2 reasons your team wins, 2 reasons your team loses.
All right. You want to go wins or loses first? I'll go 2, you go 2, then we'll go to the other 2.
Let's do wins first. Go ahead.
All right. 2 reasons Michigan wins. 1, Ohio State hasn't played an offense like Michigan in 7 weeks, 8 weeks since they played Washington. I think all their players are very good, but it's very easy to beat up on the teams that aren't as strong as you. The other reason really is Michigan hasn't shown too much as stunts on defense or anything on offense. Like, I watched games this year and I'm like, are we running the same play? Are we doing the same thing on defense? They really haven't shown too much. I think they're going to empty the bag this weekend. Even Wink Martindale all year long. He's a blitz guy. Blitz. Hasn't done it much this year. It's almost like he's kind of holding back everything for the game so that they can continue to keep Ryan Day in this reality where he can win everything else but this game. So those are 2 reasons I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I think 2 reasons Ohio State wins is 1, Julian Sain continues to not make mistakes like he has all year, and 2, that Jeremiah and Carnell aren't rusty, and well, we actually throw to Jeremiah in this game, unlike last year. And I think those are probably the 2 biggest reasons. We get our top 2 receiving threats fully healthy, and Julian doesn't make mistakes throwing the ball to them. I think that's plenty.
All right, now we're doing 2 reasons to lose.
Yep.
All right. My first reason that I think that if Michigan somehow in some weird reality where, aliens touch down in UFOs and they lose this game, I'm just kidding, would be they keep Underwood strapped and don't let him do his thing. Obviously, the kid can play football. It's not a surprise to anybody that he can run and he can pass. But when you don't get him in rhythm and you make him throw screen after screen and then a dump off and then a screen and then a dump off, and then you expect him to throw that back shoulder fade on the money, you can't expect that out of an 18-year-old. You have to set them up to be successful. And it's no surprise that Michigan's probably going to run the ball 20-something times in this game. So they're going to have to make sure they get Underwood in rhythm early so that Ohio State can't just take away one side of the ball and make another side go after it. The other reason will be, I think this is way deeper than just this game. I think Wink Martindale is looking to return to the NFL, and that's why he hasn't done much on defense this year.
I see.
So if he doesn't give his all in this game and try to turn it up and put Sayin in situations where he can't just dump it off and they force him to throw that deep ball and make it a 50-50 is where I think it could get interesting. He's going to have to draw up some pressure and make Sayin do the hard things. Because, I mean, we've seen he can pick teams apart from underneath. There's no doubt about that. You need to force him to throw it up. And I think if he doesn't do that and lets him just sit down there and throw it to Smith and Tate and Ennis and what's the tight end's name? Claire? It could get very interesting. I'm not worried about them stopping the run. I'm not worried about them. I know Michigan can do that. I'm not worried about the special teams game or anything like that. I'm worried that Wink isn't going to be able to get pressure or dial up pressure, and that's where Ohio State will just chip the ball down the field and win the game. So I think you have to do those two things.
I think really the two big ways that Ohio State loses this game is one, we get soft against the run because we know they're just going to want to pound the ball, run the ball, because we're the same way.
Run the ball.
So if we get soft against the run and start getting gashed, I'll be worried about that. And two, to concur with Bryce, I think the second way that we lose is if we let Bryce Underwood break the pocket. If we contain him, I don't think he's ready to deal with that. I don't think he's ready to deal with Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson crushing down on him while Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs and even Jamison Igbinosun and all those guys are just waiting for him to throw them one. And actually, now that I think about it, I'll change that a little bit. He'll probably have Arvell Reese, Caden Curry, and Kenyatta Jackson all crashing down on him because while Arvell Reese is a good pass coverage guy, he is actually a much better pass rusher. And I'm sure that Matt Patricia will be throwing many exotic stunts in this game to throw Bryce Underwood off his game, disrupt his rhythm. Probably a lot of three-prong jams, a lot of stuff to blow up screen game, stuff like that. So if we let Bryce Underwood get to a point where he gets comfy and he can roll out of the pocket, throw some passes down the field, check him down, take him with his legs, that's going to be worrisome.
You want to do a score prediction real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
21. No. Yeah, probably. 21 to... No, I'll go 20. 20 to 17. Michigan wins.
Super low scoring game. I'm going to go... I'm going to go 24-18 Ohio State.
You're kind of low scoring too. See, I think Michigan's going to rely on the defense to keep them in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how it's going to be. I mean, there's no surprise Michigan's going to run the ball probably 30 plus times.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to control the time of possession and not give Sayin time to hit Smith in stride for a 70-yard touchdown or Carnell Tate in stride for a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 24-18, and I think that you will get one splash play for a touchdown. I don't really know how it's going to be. I doubt it's going to be in the run game, quite frankly.
Without Haynes, it can't be. I mean, Marshall's good, but he's not as fast as Haynes.
Yeah, no, I think Ohio State will get one splash play touchdown. I don't think it'll be from Bo Jackson running the ball. I think it'll probably just be at some point Wink's going to get aggressive. He's going to send a blitz, and Julian's just going to one step look to Jeremiah in coverage, and it's probably going to be like 25 yards, and he's just going to go up and get the ball.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Michigan's got a lot more things to worry about in this game than Ohio State. You know, obviously Smith and Tate sat last week, so they're going to be fresh. Max Bredesen is on crutches during the Maryland game. He could be out. That's a lead blocker that they need to move guys. Obviously Haynes is out for the year, is the reports.
Yeah.
And a team that has a deep defense but not a deep offense, that is not the situation you want to be in. So I'm hoping that Bredesen can get on the field and I'm hoping Marshall can be 100% as well, and they can square off pretty much full strengths, both teams, and battle it till the death.
As it was always meant to be.
I do kind of hope that there's no flag planting, because I don't want to see another fight and then somebody get ejected for the playoffs. Either side.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because last year, whatever. I get why you did it. It didn't have to happen. But
Bryce, I know exactly how I'm gonna know if this is gonna be a good football game or not.
when you wake up.
No. Mike's gonna know because I said this one time and he was like, "Holy Christ, you're actually right." If this game is scoreless in the first quarter, it's gonna be a banger. Scoreless first quarter football games are just a banger 90% of the time. It just always goes that way.
I think this is going to shape up to be the stakes won't be as high as the last couple years. For Michigan, it is, not for Ohio State. I mean, obviously, they don't really care. But they care.
We need to.
Yeah, they care.
They should.
I'm saying I think this year is going to come down to an instant classic. I really do. I think it's going to be another one of those games. So. 30 years from now, you're sitting in the recliner, first day of retirement, and on Big Ten Network at noon, it says 2025 Michigan versus Ohio State, and you're going to be like, what a game. I hope it's one of those.
Yep.
I hope Zavada makes some field goals too, because if he misses another one, I might die.
Oh, I should have made that one of the ways Ohio State wins.
He has been
thinking about it.
He's been bad kicking this year.
Anyway, we are almost past time, or pretty much past time. So, gentlemen, the battle lines have been drawn for the game this year, and we will see what happens. Alex, for the last time, pay the bills.
This episode of Tailgate Talks is brought to you by DeFrisher Recycling and Junk Removal. If you or anyone you know is in need of their services, check out the links down below in the description. Go to their website or their Facebook page. Get in contact with DeFrisher today. See if they provide their services in your area. Thank you, DeFrisher, for sponsoring this episode of Tailgate Talks. Gentlemen, any final words?
Greenville beats Clareton on Friday.
Bold take.
To go to the state championship. That'd be sweet. Congrats to them making it this far. And go blue. Those are my last takes.
Go Buckeyes, baby.
I'm glad we can be respectful about it, Alex.
Me too. And my final words are, the Pirates are still not signing anybody long-term free agent. And I'll believe it when I see it.
That's not a surprise.
Good night, America.